What you want?
To give you a choice. See, you're in my house, Fatso, and you didn't ask permission. So you and your friends can leave now, or they can carry your fat ass out in a bucket. Now I'll count to 3. 1, 2. You owe us a pair of glasses.
Right, so the first thing you notice in this little fight scene here is the element of surprise, right? He says he's going to count to 3. Instead, he only counts to 2. It's a good idea in any fight to behave in a way that catches the other person off guard. That might include asking them a question, and when they start to talk, you make a move. Or in this case, you're saying something. You know, you could also do something where you're talking, and in the middle of your own sentence, you move, because they're waiting for you to finish your sentence, right? So it could be something like, all right, how about if we talk about... Secondly, the headbutt. I don't like the idea of just a straight headbutt right here. They always say, okay, use the crown of your head and come down into their nose or something like that. But the problem is that if he instinctively sort of flinches and ducks his head, then this happens. Top of my head against the top of his head, there's no advantage to me in that, and that's going to be concussive to me as well. I don't want that. So I prefer to do the headbutt in one of 2 ways. One, come from underneath. In a grappling situation, if you're here, you can drop low and then come right up into the chin with the top of your head. Number 2, turn the head. Grab their chin and turn it. And then you come in with the top of your head into their jaw or the ear, boom. And that way you're not risking clashing head to head. So that was what I call a slingshot. It's a term I learned from Morty. Slingshot can be done with 2 hands or 1 hand, and I'm really only guessing because it happened so quickly, but it looked to me like a slingshot. So a slingshot is where you pass the head from the inside to the outside. Sometimes this is done with 2 hands. If I have a grip, if I have sort of a cross-side grip or a frame on his neck, I put some weight on this, I pass it across here, and I catch it with the other hand, and then I can strike from this side. The slingshot can also be done with 1 hand, and that's what Reacher does here in this scene. It's tricky with 1 hand because you have to do the pass and the catch with the same hand, so you have to turn your hand in the air. So you're here, you pass the head and you catch it. And you'll see in the scene, you'll notice that Reacher, you can see his hand going around behind the guy's neck. So that's what he's doing. He reaches behind the guy's neck, he slingshots him, he puts the guy's head right up against the bed. Yep. And the other hand. There's a rule in martial arts. You control the head, you control the body. So a slingshot is a good way of manipulating a person's entire body to where you want it to be. Now, once he does his slingshot and he has the guy's head up against the bed, you watch the scene, you'll see him moving back and coming in with all his considerable body weight. He's not doing this, right? There's no power here. This is all shoulder action. So he's got the guy's head pinned up against the bunk, and he's crashing in with all his body weight. If I just elbow him here, he moves back with the force. But if he's against the wall and I do that, all that force is going into his chest. There's nowhere else for it to go. In the case of the head, this is how people get knocked out. The impact, the force of the impact, causes the brain to rebound inside the skull. In this particular scene, considering the force that Reacher delivered with his elbow and the fact that the guy's head was against the bunk, I'd say it's possible the guy was killed. And if not, he's going to be in for a very long recovery. He's going to be very, very seriously injured. So there's your recap of the prison cell fight scene in Reacher.